And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as we start a Tuesday together. Believe it or not, is October the 11th. As we head toward, I guess we've got coming up Halloween next. I almost said Thanksgiving. That'll be here before you know it. The holidays are upon us as we begin this. Welcome. If you haven't opened up your front door this morning, it is some kind of chilly outside. 46 right now is what we're picking up at Key Field in Meridian. Take a look at radar here in just a moment and go north of there and see what we got NAS Meridian, and the further we go north, and it is chillier. I see some 45s up there. Woo! How are you today? I hope well. You're doing good as we begin this with a smile and hope that the best comes of everything today as always. All right, I forgot to, let me turn something on. I somehow forgot altogether. Comments, I got to see what y'all are saying. I forgot to turn that button on. We got that coming up. All right, as we do this, as we mentioned our temperature, we're expecting a high of 83 today. Sunshine everywhere. That's the good news. And again, let's come over here and take a look at radar so we can see how the day is beginning. This is what we're shaping up as we look across. Some heavy fog down in Gainesville, Florida, if you're in that area there. Knoxville, Tennessee has got a lot. As we zoom back in on the state of Mississippi and Alabama, we come up to see this 52 in Hattiesburg. But as you get to Meridian, as you'll see, 46 at Key Field. We got 45 degrees showing there at NAS Meridian, 46 at Stark Vegas, and 45 this morning at Columbus Air Force Base. As we go out to our west, a little bit warmer there, 50 over in Jackson. So not bad at all. Off to our east there, Tuscaloosa, sitting at the same meridian is at about 46 degrees this morning. Not bad, is it? This is shaping up. I wanted to mention this. This is going to be coming up a benefit this weekend. The third annual benefit car show. Let me show this so everybody can see this. Out at the Family Fish Camp. They're going to have this for Danny Anthony. Hope you can go out and help them this weekend as they get ready for this. Great cause and help somebody that needs a little bit there. Raffles and all other great things that are going on. We have a few more events that we're going to talk about. I hope you'll join us for that. And if you've got a public service announcement going on, let us know. You can email me at scottyray1969 at AOL.com or simply just inbox us here. We'll be glad to do that. All right, let's take a minute and head out to Collinsville and get a good word to start the day.
We in the South love to say, well, bless your heart. God does indeed want to bless your heart because your heart is the key to one day seeing God. But it takes a pure heart. Jesus said in Matthew 5:8, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. But nobody's born with a pure heart. We're born sinners with spiritually defective hearts that love things other than God. And based on this congenital heart defect, none of us would see God. But God wants to bless your heart. And not just your heart, your entire body and soul. You see, he sent Jesus to give you a new, pure heart that beats for him. And when you turn from sin and trust in Christ, that new heart is yours. Then you will one day see God in heaven. Bless your heart. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Always does us good to get a good message as we started. I see happy birthday goes out to Chet's mom, Yvonne Sanford, 76 today. Hope it's a big birthday for you. You always get your birthdays in. We'll do those during the 8 o'clock show as well. If you haven't told us about it, we'd love to hear from you. Well, as we learned yesterday, and we start this off, we'll discuss this again a little bit later this morning as you go to sammedia.network, we learned that Lieutenant Rita Jack has been terminated by the Meridian Police Department. She confirmed that it happened on October the 5th and gave us her attorney's number, and also the City of Meridian declined to give us any more information as to why she was terminated. That did, again, she was notified on October the 5th. We hope to find out more on this matter, as it's been a little bit more than a week since then. Now, as we come to our next subject, this always happens as we talk about crime and things increase during the winter months. People do things that are, you don't see as many fights on the street, things of that nature. Mostly it's contained where they can jump out of a car, they keep warm and go do. Burglaries always rise. It's quick. You're inside. we've got, as we move into this, and we do believe this could be the same suspect that robbed or burglarized, is a better term for it, Oliver Construction a few weeks ago. Hit them twice. As we pull this up, again, this business is just off of B Street. Let me pop this picture up where you can see it. Do you recognize this gentleman? If you do, contact the Meridian Police Department. Possibly, again, a suspect in 2 burglaries. As we look at that, let me show you the video, just how this works. And we'll just show you just a sample of this. I've got the video that was retrieved from the business. And again, this was from Riley's Screen and Window. If you're looking at the 18th Avenue Bridge going toward the hospitals in downtown Meridian, his business sits to the right there at the red light at 17th. As we pull this back up, and like I said, we'll show you just how they work when they come in. The door is opening there, and he looks directly at the camera. Then he goes on to stay in there for 20, 30 minutes or so. We've got a little bit of that video that you can take a look at there. Maybe you recognize it, bring someone to justice. Both of these businesses would like to have their belongings back. What are the odds of getting it all back? Slim. I think we all know that. No telling where they're taken, where they're sold, what is done with people's things after they're stolen. And as I spoke with Keith, I always keep this in mind. It's just like a firearm. It's a lot of preaching, but seldom do we all remember to do what we need to. Write down serial numbers, take pictures. If you had to identify something that was sold in a pawn shop and you have no way of proving that it is yours, you're just out of luck. So mark things, put your name on them, whatever it takes, and take pictures. Document this and store it somewhere where it can't be gotten in case you ever need to show police what was taken. And again, there's probably a ton of people that go, yeah, I'll do that one day. Everybody's been guilty of it. Now, the next thing that I want to show you, and again, we're going to recap this again this morning at 8 because not everybody is up yet. I want to make sure they understand this. This is the scene. This happens nightly. I don't always get pictures. I don't always get the locations, but we did on this one. Now, as I show you this video, you'll notice that this man stops short of grabbing the door handle. Why? The camera system tells him, hey, you're being videoed now, and that deters him enough to stop. As you see him stop right there, the video camera spoke to him and said, you're trespassing, you're being videoed at this point. He stopped in his tracks and turned around and left. Now, that doesn't stop everybody, but we did get a video of him. It's not a clear picture of his face, but it's a start. That's where it does help to have some video there to show police should somebody do something wrong. Who knows what he did a block over. He could have taken more. We just don't know. That was in the area of 34th and 25th Avenue in Meridian. Again, if you've had something missing, let us know. If you get video, we'd like to share and let everybody know what people are up to. All eyes are watching the federal government, what's going to happen tomorrow. For those of you that are watching, maybe you know someone, maybe you have a parent on this that rely on Social Security to get along. That's not much. We all know that. Tomorrow, on Thursday, today's Tuesday, they will announce the largest increase in 40 years, as they're going to be increasing Social Security recipients. Why? We all know the cost of living has gone so high, you may be getting a raise, but in the end, it's just equaling out to hopefully what you were making. We can't even guarantee that, but it will be the largest. That's due to the fact that cost of living is getting high. Reminded me of a Ronnie Dunn song. I'm not sure that this will do any good. It's like a needle in a haystack, but our friends over in Jackson from Dark Horse Press sent this out. We thought we would share it. A lady is begging for the safe return of her dog. She's not sure that it's in Mississippi. She thinks it. Her boyfriend had used her car and had her dog, and something is not quite right with the young man, and he can't tell her where he was, but her puppy dog is missing. She thinks it could be somewhere in Mississippi, and again, we don't have the location that he was even in, just that it was Mississippi. Here's a picture of the dog. Again, a shot in the dark. If you've happened to see that somewhere in a pound, she'd sure love to have him back. We'll share that a little bit later so you can see that again. We all get attached to our pups, and, well, maybe I'm just a little soft-hearted these days. I believe in trying to help those that are looking for that. We see that in Lowndes County. Over the last couple of days, we lost a life. Someone ran off the road, flipped, and the car caught fire. They're life was taken in that wreck in Lowndes County. We pass condolences to that family. We spoke about this when it happened. Sugarlock, Mississippi, 11 miles due north of Scuba, Mississippi, due north of Scuba Tech, the Scuba lines. Sugarlock, there by the railroad tracks, is where you'll find, well, about the only thing that's left right there by the tracks, and that would be the Dollar General. Someone robbed it last year. That man has been indicted for armed robbery and possession of a stolen firearm. He hasn't been sentenced yet, but we're looking for that to happen. Demetrius Prince, facing those stolen firearm charges along with that. Went right up in the Dollar General and robbed him. Gunpoint. Glad they were caught. Again, that was in Sugarlock, Mississippi, where that all went. You've passed through there. It used to be the home of the Little Giant. It's no more. One of the best hamburgers you could ever eat. Mr. Harold and them. I think a lot of people know what I'm talking about. We mentioned that a body was found in Laurel yesterday morning. A woman's been charged. The body had been there for 6 to 12 months. We don't have many details other than the fact that someone has been charged. And again, it's alleged, but as we see this, Phyllis Tiller Watts was taken into custody. Her bond was set at $750,000. They're not telling why she's being held, but there has to be a connection or there wouldn't have been an arrest, would it? We'll see what becomes of that. We'll let you know when that does come out. They're looking for a suspect in Natchez, Mississippi. A convenience store was robbed. There was a fatal shooting involved. Zippy's convenience store. Someone was shot and killed. You know, we talked about the guy in Texas yesterday on the morning show that lethal injection robbed a store, killed a man, $1.25. He met his maker. They sent him that way from Huntsville, Texas. I don't know if you saw that this week. That happened. Again, he'd been in prison a long time, but he robbed and killed somebody over $1.25. Adams County, we go back to Natchez for our next story. We see way too much of this. This was almost unavoidable, and there's not going to be any charges filed. A bicyclist was killed. Car was going down the road, and I think they topped a hill, and there he was on the bicycle. One car moved over, quickly jerked the wheel. A teenager was behind him, had no way of knowing what was coming. Hit the gentleman on the bicycle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. If you ride a bicycle, be very, very careful. We see more and more of this. I'm telling you, over the last 2 to 3 weeks nationwide, I bet I've seen 15 people killed this way. We hate to see that. We did see that there was an accident Sunday afternoon, I-59. I didn't get this till late. 18-wheeler was going down the road, moved in a little bit too quick and clipped the back end of a truck. It's kind of like the pit maneuver that is held when cops are chasing somebody. It was an accident. He didn't see him. Somehow or another, when he got over, clipped it. Several were taken to the hospital. Luckily, no one passed away in that, but shook everybody up. Again, that was I-59, headed toward the Hattiesburg area in there. We have 2 cases of this that happened over the weekend. A lot of this was come out because it had to do with Columbus Day. Not a lot of news hit the market, but we've had 2 deaths in the state of Mississippi dealing with ATVs. Our first was a 41-year-old that passed away in an accident back again in Adams County. Our next would be a teenager that lost their life in Carroll County on a 4-wheeler. Such a horrible, horrible thing to happen to people. So keep their families in mind as you begin your day. That's tough. We see that 6 people will face the death penalty. They're going to go to court. It was a calculated murder is the way it's being worded on that. 6 defendants are charged with the death of Justin Mayfield. He was a 39-year-old that was killed during a robbery at Plantersville. I believe it was at his home, too. But they had planned it out, calculated it. They're going after them, and I do hope they hold them responsible for what they done. Again, as we talked with Cassie, the law has been changed, and I was not aware of that because I've seen so many times in the headlines, and it's discouraging when you see that somebody that was sentenced to life or sentenced to prison without the chance of parole, or, well, they're paroled. Anybody after the mid-'90s, that law was changed, that loophole. So what we see now is a few people that still get out on that were in prison before that date. Just as a FYI, I like to be reminded of things like that. It's easy to forget. I had someone mention this. They were cruising at the coast this weekend. Last week, there at Wiggins, If you'll remember, there was an accident that involved a 57 Chevrolet. It was a couple going down that lost his wife lost his life. Someone pulled out in front of them. They had a wreck, and she lost her life. I had someone tell me that they were there, and they said, man, it was a bad wreck that I saw Saturday morning. And as we dig deeper into this, someone did lose their life. They're on 90, hit a curb, lost control, off into the medium, and hit another car head on. Loss of life there. It was not related to cruising the coast, but it did happen in that area. They did see that. As we start looking at a few of these national stories that are out this morning, I didn't even know there was such a thing as Amazon is being sued. And what this is called is they're accusing, and again, is accusations, that Amazon was selling suicide kits to teenagers. It has sodium nitrate in it. And they were using it to do bad things. We'll wait to see what Amazon has to say about that. I'm sure that they'll stop the sale of anything that people are using for something that's not intended. And that's most likely what that was, is someone adapting something. I don't think Amazon, for the least amount of moment, would even consider selling anything like that. In the headlines this morning, it's been months since we heard from him. And he speaks. Brett Favre has spoken, and he says, it is not true of what people are saying about me. I'm not guilty. As we go to Fox News, and let me read you what Fox News says about this, of what Brett said. I have been unjustly smeared in the media, Favre said in a statement provided exclusively to Fox News Digital. I've done nothing wrong, and it's past time to set the record straight. I think a lot of people would say that's good to hear from him. No one ever told me, and I did not know that funds designated for welfare recipients were going to the university or me. I tried to help my alma mater, USM, a public Mississippi university, raise funds for a wellness center. My goal was and always will be to improve the athletic facilities at my university. State agencies provided the funds to Nancy News Charity, the Mississippi Community Education Center, which then gave the funds to the university, all with full knowledge and approval of the state agencies, including the statewide Institution for Higher Learning, the Governor's Office, and Attorney General's Office. He goes on to say, I was told that the legal work to ensure that these funds could be accepted by the university was done by the state's attorneys and state's employees. So he's saying, I've done nothing wrong, and I've got the paperwork to back this up. Basically, you go to, I guess it'd be like trying to sell something. You go to somebody and you ask for money to help get something off the ground. You have no idea where it comes from, is what Brett is saying. State Auditor Shad White comes back, and he says, now this is where it goes awry. And this is a quote from Fox News. State Auditor Shad White said, the auditor who first discovered, and of course they're talking about Chad, misspending of the total fraud, said the grant was approved by an attorney for the AG's office, but that the analysis was incorrect for a few reasons. The volleyball court needed to be used to benefit the needy in Hattiesburg, Shad White said. And fast forward today, we now know that the volleyball court has not been used to benefit the needy. So this is an unallowable use of TANF money funds for different reasons. And for those reasons, it doesn't matter that the attorney signed off on this. What matters is that it is simply not allowable to use these funds. And it's our job, the state auditor's office, to find out and point out what we see. And he's right. Doesn't mean that Brett Favre is guilty of anything. But the people that moved this knew that this was not going to be used for needy children. There's no doubt on that. The scandal will go all the way to the governor's office, as we see subpoena after subpoena hitting former Governor Phil Bryant. He hadn't spoke, and he's probably been advised by his attorneys not to. We'll see what happens with all of this as this unfolds. We watch it daily. Mississippi Today has been one of the few places that hung on to this story, that didn't let go and told it as it was, as they released text message. We'll keep watching all of this and see what happens with this. I did see in Hattiesburg, boy, you want to talk about having a habit, a Hattiesburg woman has been arrested. Why? She stole $1,400 worth of merchandise from Victoria's Secret. We'll leave it at that. Interesting, isn't it? We'll check your forecast next. That's on the way. Y'all don't rush off. We got a lot of great stories still to tell as we begin this Tuesday morning right here. Good morning. As the days get hotter, Sanders Gas reminds you to get your air conditioner tuned up. Sanders Gas can repair or replace your whole unit, whichever you need. Talk to Sanders about a tankless water heater now and never run out of hot water. Find out how easy and affordable it is to cook on gas stoves. And those backyard barbecues are coming. Don't run out of gas. Get yours refilled today. Sanders Gas, since 1946, 611 26th Avenue South, 601-693-4054. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. We were talking about the Social Security being raised for the first time in 40 years this large, as LaWanda pointed out. With that, I always know that, well, most likely Medicare will go up. Expenses within, and you really don't walk away with any more. That's sad, but so true. You work all your life, and you get to where you can relax, and, well, you can't afford to live anymore. They talk big game. Y'all remember years ago when the state of Mississippi got all of that money from the tobacco companies? Y'all remember that? Every last single red cent of that has been blown. They kept dipping in. It was supposed to go to education, great programs. They used it for everything but what it was supposed to be. Shame on them. Can't get it back once it's spent, can you? I don't think so. All right, let's get into our forecast this morning and find out when it's going to rain. I know I got the attention of some deer hunters of what's going to happen. Let's find out.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Record highs, record lows. 2019, it was a warm 90 today. Back in 64, popular year 34. As we look at that forecast for today, Meridian will hit about 82 to 83, depending upon where you are. Philadelphia looks to be about 80, and as we go northward up toward Columbus and through Starkville, 80 to 81, out to our West Vicksburg, about 83 to 84 as well. So we're not going to really get above 85 anywhere in the state of Mississippi. As we head east into Bama, looks like that high over there we're seeing is 85 as well, all the way on the east side of the state. Most likely 82 to 83 like the Meridian area and most of the places. Anniston, Gadsden area, maybe 79. As we look at this, it is cooler as we're waking up this morning, 46 to 47. Chilly, chilly, chilly. We'll see some normal temperatures here as we see that maybe off to the west there, California, some more warmer weather later. Cool right now as we move forward to look at this forecast. Today, perfect weather, 82, 61. Tomorrow, this is the day that deer hunters have been waiting for, that planted. A 70% chance of rain now being forecasted for tomorrow, and it will hit a 30% chance tomorrow night. 40% chance. Let me change that. 70 during the day, 40 at night. So if you've got seed, do what you got to do to get it in the ground this afternoon. Before that, for the remainder of the week, it'll really back off. Smidgens of chances of rain. Our high this week, 81 on Thursday. Then we're back down to 75 and 79. And, well, as we go into next week, we'll start Monday off with 73 with that 10% chance. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll have another chance midweek. Let's look at that. Well, it'll be on into the weekend now. They've kind of pushed that forward. The weekend looks like we'll get those showers. 65 on, what is this, the 18th? Look at that, 60s. Wow. About 3 days worth of that. By the time we get to Friday the 21st of next week, 72. And then on Sunday the 23rd comes that next chance of rain. So if you miss this for planning, make sure to get it into the ground on the 22nd toward the end of the month to catch that rain. Make sure those fields will grow up. That's not bad. We got 2 chances. We hadn't had any. As we go back to take a look at what's going on in the tropics, here we go as we pull this up this morning. This is the remnants of Julia. She's headed up right through here. Nothing to worry about at this point. We'll pull up radar and take a look at that also in just a moment there. What is the best time to fish today as we head out to Chet's Paint and Body? Well, there you go. Our first major time will be about 8:30 today. About an hour's worth is all you're going to get there. Again, this afternoon, if you're looking for another time, 2:30 to 4:30 will be a pretty good time to hit the water. Go out and fish. The wind's going to be northwest 5 to 10, becoming east, southeast in the afternoon. So we'll put the money on the afternoon fishing trip, 2:30 to 4:30, a 2-hour window there to get out, enjoy yourself. Let's go back to radar and see what we've got showing here as we pull this up. Let me get back to radar so everybody can take a look here as we pull this up this morning to take a look at what we've got as we back out, as we've had Julia streaking through here. Here it is this morning right now as we look at this. And let's make sure that we've got the absolute latest information on this. Let me hit a button here real quick to make sure that that's current. Sometimes it can be some of the oldest there. Yeah, this is going to be tracking right through. That was old information as I thought. Right through here is where she's going to go. Nothing to worry about at this point as we keep a close eye on all of this. It's the remnants of what she was as it came in as a Cat 1. Nothing has affected the Gulf at this point. We're tickled over that. No damage to the southern border here of Mississippi, Alabama, over to Louisiana and Texas. Florida didn't get so lucky there on that east side. All right, that's what we see this morning when it comes to weather. Again, if you're a deer hunter wanting to plant, make sure to have it in the ground this afternoon. 70% chance tomorrow, and then you will have another chance next weekend. Bet that money on this. There's a lot of folks that's already put it in the ground. So that's our forecast, what we're looking for. We'll be back in just about an hour or so as we'll get ready for the morning show. I do hope you'll join us. A few things before we leave that I wanted to mention. We got this in yesterday, the Cornhole Tournament. It's going to be October the 15th. We'll start at 8 and run till 9 there, $20 entry fee there. If you'd like to come by and help out with that. Chamberville, the Youth Cornhole Tournament. Church Cookout, a lot of things going on with that. See them. They'd love to have you take part of this. Always fun there. Let's see here. The festival on the 5th, we talked about that. No, Festival. I'm saying that wrong, aren't I? It's a cooking thing. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to practice saying that here in the next hour. That's going to be on the 15th downtown Meridian of a few things that's happening there. Also, let's see here what we've got. The Fall Festival coming up at Midway Baptist Church on the 16th from 5 until 7. And we will see a lot of fall festivals. If you haven't gotten yours to us yet, again, email us or inbox us. Let us know about it so we can tell everybody else. Again, we'll be back in an hour and 2 minutes from now. We'll go live with the morning show at Fox 30 here, all coming your way. Join us, won't you? Appreciate you. We'll see you soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: